the enclave of parochialism and a type of provincialism, mental provincialism and fundamentalism, where you just say, oh, they're kuffar, and who cares? They can all go to hell as far as I'm concerned. We're just holding on to what we have. You can do that. That's one approach to the modern world that some religious communities have chosen to do. But for those of us who live in these societies and aren't fleeing to the hills, and fleeing to the hills is an option. It really is. The Prophet ﷺ said, the time is coming, يُوشِكُ أَن يَكُونَ خَيْرُ مَالَ الْمُؤْمِنِ, right? غَنَمٌ يَتْبَعُهَا يَتْبَعُ بِهِ the قَطْرَ الْمَطَرِ, looking for water with his goats, في شِعَافِ الْجِبَالِ, in the mountain crevices. And the Prophet ﷺ said that. And he said that towards the end of time, people will flee to the mountains. Right? So that is, I'm not saying that's not an option. But for those of us who are not opting out to do that, that are living that, we have to understand the time we're living in. We have to understand it. And you guys are going to universities, and you're hearing people are taking introductory to philosophy courses and getting confused. And so these things are important. And we have to recognize their importance. And we need amongst us those who have to learn first. I would not suggest by any stretch of the imagination learning philosophy before you learn the Islamic tradition. I would not recommend that. I think it's quite dangerous. But there are people amongst us that have to delve into these things, and because Radd al-Shubuhat is part of Islam. Refuting obfuscations, refuting those hazy things. So this third generation was the
All right, so the study, the understanding of philosophy is ultra important today. Ari is learning right now, partly why. Yeah. I read Nietzsche. God is dead.
I don't know if philosophy is going to fix what is broken, though. What seems to be broken in Western society is hubris and arrogance, and how we have forgotten that human beings, I mean, we kind of suck, you know? We are vicious, violent, little idiotic apes, psychotic apes on this little planet, regularly killing, stealing, raping, blowing each other up for reasons no one can explain. Making stupid decisions, and, you know, we don't seem to really be a species that really has its stuff together.
Not anymore, that's for sure.
But despite all of that, you know, you have this enormous crowd that just thinks humans are, ironically, God's gift to Earth, essentially. And they just have this idea in their heads that they can do anything. They can solve any problem, no matter how flagrantly wrong they are. They don't have the capacity any longer to say, I was wrong, or I don't know.
So, Aria, you and I are having a conversation about a topic that has nothing to do with how much someone hates trans people, right?
I'm pretty sure that's not at all related.
But for some reason, while we have this conversation, randomly people feel the need to tell us how much they hate trans people, which adds nothing to our conversation. They just feel the need to interject it in the chat room on a regular in the Twitch chat room.
Is this on Twitch?
Well, no, I mean it's an analogy, and it does happen on Twitch. We do see that. Like, you and I can be having these deep philosophical conversations, and then Doofus from Alamo, New Mexico says, "I don't like trans people. I think you need to put on a hat and jeans."
Like, if you go to the LRN channel on Twitch and watch the old videos, that's all the comments are about. Yeah. All of them, on every single video. It's just one idiot after the next going, oh, trans people. It's like, can you pay attention to the crap coming out of the trans person's mouth, maybe?
Because, you know, if Arya put on a hat and jeans, she'd still be the same person.
Yeah, but I wouldn't bother their delicate sensibilities that way. See, they are threatened.
Are you sure? Are you sure these same kinds of people wouldn't be upset by a woman wearing pants?
Arya's spaghetti strap shirt is threatening, is violence.
Yeah. Because
there's a trans person out there that exists somewhere that might want to use violence.
See, every time I put on makeup, it makes their willies shrink. So I'm taking away their masculinity.
No. I think it's the other way around. I think your makeup and spaghetti straps are revealing something to themselves about how they actually feel about trans women that they are not okay with.
I don't think it's.
I don't think their willies are shrinking.
I think that's very
their
similar
willies
to
are
the
getting.
whole homophobic people are secretly homosexual. That's long been debunked as absolute nonsense. I mean, people who hate pedophiles aren't secretly pedophiles.
Oh, but I'm not saying it about. I'm not saying it about all. I'm just saying it about these few.
I've been to gay clubs before. I mean, I worked in one for 6 years, but I've been to gay clubs before where I had to remind myself that the chick that was on the at the other bar across from me checking me out wasn't really a chick.
Yeah, the one thing that bothers me...
We have to go, oh, that's the head drag queen, never mind.
Yeah, the one thing that bothers me about all of the trans hatred, I don't like the term transphobia, but all of the trans hatred that we do get on Twitch is that, they're like, oh, you're not passable enough. I'm like, well, that's a function of hormones plus time, man. I've only been on hormones like 2 years. I'm a grown adult. It's going to take at least 7 years before my face and my body has truly changed. So chill out, look away for the next few years, and then come back.
Oh,
I'm not looking away. I'm not looking away at all.
This is my favorite line.
Thank you, Tom.
My favorite line of all time. Mind your own damn business.
Right. I love how you need to stop pretending to be something you're not. What are you talking about? I'm not pretending anything, dude.
Says the guy using a fake name on the internet.
Right.
True.
Who won't call.
If your username on the Twitch chat room is not your real Christian name from your driver's license, don't tell somebody else to stop pretending.
Very true.
Well, see,
if your picture on your Twitch profile is not a picture of you, if it's a picture of, God forbid, an American flag with a thin blue line through it, you're not an American flag with a thin blue line through it, buddy. No, you're a dude, and you need to show that face.
What if they identify as a flag with a blue line through it?
Well, that's just
I
sad.
identify as a purple penguin.
I think that needs to be in the DSM, identifying as a thin blue line as a disorder. Those people need shock therapy.
Well, it is a disorder to identify as inanimate objects. I mean, there are people who like to pretend to be lampposts and things like that.
What do they call a disorder where you identify inanimate objects as having agency? Like, the American flag. Oh, yeah, you disrespected
Animism.
the American flag. Well, that's a thing, and you can't disrespect a thing unless you need to go to therapy, sir.
Animism.
Yes, animism.
Yeah, it's a form of polytheism.
And if you
technically, yeah,
and
I guess so.
It is. Animism is a form of polytheism. It is the attribution of feelings and deification of inanimate objects or parts of nature. We'll be back.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
Over 60% of employers are now checking online amateur pornography of potential job candidates. Is it fair to base hiring decisions on an applicant's online porn?
No, this is not fair at all. For instance, if there's a red tube video of my girlfriend slapping me and choking me and riding me, that shouldn't be an indication I'm going to lack leadership in a work situation.
Yeah, but Duncan, it's going to be hard to convince an employer who's masturbating to that video otherwise.
Exactly. My potential employer might see all those videos of my husband tying me up and having his way with me, and then they're going to think that I'm not going to be assertive enough for the job.
I mean, if you don't want to jeopardize the content of your porn, you can always shoot from the eyes down.
Oh, but that's not the same if you cover the eyes. That's where the innocence is.
So am I supposed to leave an orgy just because someone shows up with a camera?
No one's saying you should leave an orgy.
Right. So
it's more complicated.
So now if I go to a party, I wear something like this in case that situation comes up again.
I like that. I actually shoot my porn in sepia tone and make it look old-timey, so if people see it, they'll think it's my grandfather and not me.
This is the Onion News Network.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for lrn.fm in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.fm. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
Did you know that Free Aid is a mutual aid, educational, and networking organization? At Free Aid, we support volunteers who provide first aid. We do outreach to the public about health and safety, and we bring together medically skilled freedom lovers. Free Aid is made possible by your generous support. Donors can receive great gifts like first aid kits, t-shirts, silver dime cards, and hoodies. The Free Aid Silver Dime Card Project is sponsored in part by Roberts & Roberts Brokerage, Freedom's Phoenix, and Don't Tread on Meme. Visit fr33aid.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you got to keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is Angel Clark, and you're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
All right, welcome back into the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. It is close to the end of our first hour here, and broadcasting live from the Horizon.global studios. And we've been talking about why does philosophy matter nowadays? You know, people don't want to, people hate the class. Have you noticed that? When I was in college, everybody hated philosophy and statistics.
It's because philosophy isn't being taught right in class.
It's also because introductory philosophy classes tend to be taught by the people with the least, philosophical credentials. And when you're trying to learn philosophy from someone who's bad at philosophy, that's not fun and usually not productive.
Well, it's not like that they're not interested in the subject because for the same reason that they're not interested in mathematics. It's not being taught to them in the right way.
Well, like they used to have at the University of Central Florida after I left, they hired a guy who worked for an anti-Muslim hate group to take over the Islamic Studies department. Act for America, the Orlando chapter head, they made the Islamic Studies teacher at UCF after I left. And, that's just brilliant. No credentials in Islamic Studies. Just a degree in philosophy and a degree from a Christian theological seminary. How to Hate Islam 101, basically.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was his credentials.
Well, I mean, if I just like Google conclusions all day, that makes me qualified, right?
Well, yeah. I just what I'll do is I'll Google my own opinion, and then I'll find somebody with some kind of a degree. It doesn't matter if it's actually in the subject, and I'll just read their opinions and acknowledge and mention over and over again how they have a master's degree, and just forget to say that it's in physics or
I think it's all part of the
weaving, you know.
I think it's all part of the anti-intellectualism going on in the West, in particular. Going back to mathematics, you know, I hated math in high school, and the school system did an extreme disservice to me because of that. Because no one ever sat down to explain to me that, hey, this is the entire universe, and everything that is boiled down to numbers. There is nothing in the universe more elegant than this. And the same thing happens with philosophy. You know, everything boils down to these Aristotelian logical absolutes from whom they ultimately stem, and it becomes the building blocks of everything we know, as he was saying. All knowledge is ultimately based on those logical absolutes.
Since universities and schools or state institutions, they can't really run around teaching math and philosophy, because philosophy would make people maybe want to be a good person, and math is basically just logic, and we can't be having that.
I mean, it seems to be doing fine in, you know, this. It did fine in the Soviet Union, and right. it does fine in most Eastern European countries right now.
I don't know anything about their educational systems.
Well, they stomp us in calculus and physics. I mean,
they're also
an 8th grader there is more advanced than a college student here.
It's like this, and this is from my wife's friends who grew up in Russia and Ukraine during the Soviet Union. The kid who makes the F will make an A, because the kid who makes an F means you get an F. Even if you get every answer right, if a kid in your class gets an F, you get an F, because the whole is only as weak as its strongest point. And that's how they view everything in life. So your A student will either tutor or beat the F student until they become an A student. Because until they become an A student, the person who's earning the A's today won't get them.
There are better ways to motivate people, of course.
Yeah, that explains their economy. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, beating students until they study is not a good method for improving people's educational standards. I guess it worked for the Soviet Union and for other authoritarian regimes, but a much better way would be to inspire them to find the beauty and elegance in it, to want to learn it. Not because they're afraid of what will happen if they don't.
Or just accept
but because of the magical things that could happen if they do.
Or just accept that some people just ain't meant to do calculus.
Well, yeah, and some people aren't. So, like, okay, so if I just happen to be in class with a kid with Down syndrome, just like, well, I ain't studying a single thing, because why would I? Like, there's nothing, I can't make somebody, I can't, if you give me a goal that requires somebody else to do a thing, I give up.
Help it.
And maybe that's just like a problem with me as a person. I'm not denying that necessarily, but like
teamwork
I'm done.
In school, screw that crap, man. Just give me an assignment. I will do all of the work for the entire group. Just let me do it by myself instead of with these 3 other idiots
who want to socialize and
I don't want to do that.
I got through college with only having one group project.
I wish I was that
in
lucky.
Graduate school. I like, the only reason I ever went to rate my professor was to be like, do you have a group project? And everybody who did had like 0 score. In law school, we could either do a group project or we could like write like a law school level term paper. That paper got wrote.
Right?
Absolutely.
So you look like you had something you want to say.
Well, working with people sucks.
Yes.
I mean, if the options are to work with someone.
Oh, thanks, Arya.
For what?
Because you work with people.
Working with people sucks. Like, Will and I aren't in the room.
Working with people does suck.
And Melanie, too.
Hold on.
I mean, is this work? I don't consider it as work. Like, I can play, like...
My wife doesn't consider it
if
work.
this show is bad, I'm not gonna... That's not gonna affect my life. I mean,
because Tom is right. Working with people doesn't suck. It only sucks when you can't choose, when you have no control over the people with whom you work. That's when it sucks.
Go.
But if you do have control over that, I mean, this is more like a 3-hour social period for me.
Yeah, I mean, this is a hobby. Like, this is not my job. Like, you can't give me, like, if something horrible happens in this show, I'm not saying I'm going to be happy about it, but you can't, like, give me enough. You can't dock my pay.
You wouldn't know much of a difference between my demeanor and if the three of us were, like, sitting at a bar chugging down drinks. You know, even though neither of you drink. What? I don't know about Melanie.
I was about to say, you can tell the difference because we're here.
So we're going to all go to the bar, and only Aria's going to drink.
Is Aria the only person in the group that does?
I actually don't drink anyway.
Oh, okay, so we're going to all go to the bar and trespass and just sit there.
Yeah.
What the heck kind of libertarian show is this? Aria and I don't do pot. None of us drink.
Hey,
even Will only uses medicinally.
I'm trying.
I'm trying.
Alcohol sucks. It's one of the worst drugs ever invented. I mean, you give me, okay, you can have these 6 beers, or you can have this ecstasy. Well, let's see. I can have this thing that's going to make me...
both of them are going to make you throw up. But
they are. But one of them is going to give me... One of them is going to give me 6 hours of really, really good time. And the other is going to give me about an hour of feeling kind of good and then kind of crappy and then
a headache.
I think alcohol has really individualized effects. The effects of it are just wildly different between people. Whereas every other drug, if I ask somebody how does this drug affect you, they give me the same story.
Well, maybe sometimes, but if you ask me how pot affects me, I'm going to give you a drastically different answer than Will does.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm one of those guys where if I have one drink, I'm still drinking, 5 years later.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be funny, not uncomfortable. I guess.
Well, I did the same thing, so.
What do you mean you don't find my 1-year AA chip to be a conversation worth joking about?
I was supposed to get a chip?
I thought you got a chip. Well, you're not in AA, so no, you don't get a chip. No, I will send you a chip.
Well, that's a bunch of crap.
You could order it online. I
think the fact that I did it without AA means I should get 2 chips.
You could just show up to a meeting and be like, "I'm from out of town." Or legitimately go out of town. Be like, "I'm from out of town." Neglect to mention that you don't have a meeting where you are in town, and collect them when you're shipped. You could do that.
I've actually been, Melanie's not privy to this. I don't know if you guys remember it either, but my therapist has actually told me I shouldn't go to meetings because being a high-functioning alcoholic, if I am around low-functioning alcoholics, I am actually more likely to relapse than if I am not around anybody.
I believe that.
I don't know it.
Because if I go around people who are like still in the throes of things and are really screwed up, I'm going to go, yeah, but I have a decent job at a radio gig. I should be fine.
Well, yeah, that makes some sense.
And that's my...
The warning signs.
First, he made me feel special. He promised he'd look after me, provide for my future. He broke every promise he made.
Millions of Americans afflicted.
I was ready to leave, but he told me he'd change. So I gave him another chance. I was such a fool.
The consequences.
Things only got worse. He started making my decisions for me. About my job, my kids' education, my money, my safety, my future. He took away my choices, but I kept going back to the same politicians.
The diagnosis? Battered voter syndrome.
I fell for the same old lies. They were just playing with my emotions, telling me what I wanted to hear. That's not right.
If you're tired of the two-party system but want to support a principled Libertarian Party, check out the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire at lpnh.org. That's lpnh.org. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
More of the Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Friday, September 14th, 2018. Silver is trading at $14.20 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,203 per ounce. Zen is trading at $16, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,460. Antiwar.com reports Turkish officials announced Wednesday that they sent hundreds of additional special forces, along with tanks, armored vehicles, and other equipment, across the border into Syria's Idlib province. They are intended to reinforce Turkish military posts in northern Syria. Turkish officials say that the intention is to deter the Syrian military from launching an offensive against the Idlib province, which is under control of various rebel factions, the largest of which is Al-Qaeda's Nusra Front. Turkey is aligned with some of these fighters in supporting regime change in Syria. In addition to boosting their direct military presence in Idlib, Turkey has also sent a large amount of additional weapons and ammunition for rebels to use. Rebel sources say they have been told Turkey will provide military support for a long, protracted battle. Idlib and neighboring areas are the last major rebel enclaves inside Syria. For Syria to recover the territory would effectively end the war, though doing so is likely to take a major offensive. Syrian and Russian planes have been conducting airstrikes along the outskirts, trying to soften up defenses before a ground invasion. There is no timetable for such an invasion. Zencash has changed their name to Horizon to better represent their transition from a cryptocurrency to a pioneering platform that protects consumer data. They're working towards the day when anyone will be able to build privacy-based applications on the Horizon platform. The unique spelling of Horizon is a nod to their heritage and recognizes that they remain committed to the vision that their project was built upon. Their coin and ticker symbol remain ZEN. Learn more at horizon.global and join the Horizon community. HORIZEN.global. UPI reports lawmakers in the U.S. House and Senate say they agreed Thursday on a bipartisan fiscal package that seeks to avert President Donald Trump's promise to shut down the government in an effort to get funding for his proposed border wall. The spending bills would fund some two-thirds of the government, including the Pentagon and the Health and Human Services Department. The package also includes a stopgap spending measure to ensure the government stays open through December 7th. Details of the package have not been revealed. Representative Rodney Frelinghuysen, chairman of the House Committee on Appropriations, said the bipartisan package, should Trump sign it, would avoid a battle over a potential shutdown until after the midterm elections. Trump has threatened to force a government shutdown on October 1st if a spending bill does not include the billions of dollars he would need to build his border wall. Politico reported that lawmakers hope the fiscal packages agreed upon Thursday will make it politically impossible for Trump to do so. Representative Rosa DeLauro said the president will have to sign it into law or shut down the government. House and Senate aides told CNN that the White House said Trump plans to sign the package. You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans are friends, allies, and numerous supporters. Fans help FPP afford to produce more original content. You can join the Fans program for as little as $1 per month through Patreon and get perks like ad-free versions of FPP Radio News and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. That's fans.fppradio.com. Reuters reports Attorney General Jeff Sessions on Thursday vowed to fight back against federal courts that issue injunctions barring the federal government from implementing regulations nationwide and accused federal judges of engaging in judicial activism. In a speech in Missouri, Sessions revealed he was issuing new litigation guidelines that he said would assist our department attorneys in fighting unconstitutional orders all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. Nationwide injunctions have become a favored tool by states and other groups who have staunchly opposed many of the Trump administration's more controversial controversial policy initiatives. They allow a single judge in one federal district to block the implementation of new rules across the entire country. The new guidelines call on DOJ litigators to fight back against cases that involve nationwide injunctions. During the Obama administration, Republican-led state attorneys general and business groups often sought nationwide injunctions, a strategy that has since been more often deployed by Democratic state attorneys general and civil rights groups who seek to block many of President Donald Trump's policies. According to Sessions, courts have issued nationwide injunctions 25 times since Trump took office. Sessions said in a statement, "This trend must stop. We have a government to run. The Constitution does not grant a single district judge the power to veto executive branch actions." This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
Amid the catastrophic economic crisis spurred by Tuesday's release of This Christmas, the new holiday-themed album by John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John, economic experts told reporters today the Christmas CD has quickly plunged the nation into a double-dip recession.
When investors learned that one-time screen couple John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John had reunited after 35 years for an album of timeless Christmas classics, investors had no choice but to pull money from markets immediately. We were already on shaky ground with the collapse of the U.S. subprime mortgage market and the reversal financial crisis in Europe, but consumer confidence plummeted after Americans saw the new album with a picture of Travolta and Olivia Newton-John holding cups of hot cocoa. We believe that when other countries find out the album features a Christmas song that pays tribute to summer nights, we could be looking at a global contagion. This is the blackest day on Wall Street in 2 decades.
This is the Onion News Network.
The Call to Freedom is an opinion show. It's meant for informational purposes only. It is not licensed financial advice. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with or independently research and verify any information that you hear from the Call of Freedom and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. I mean, come on, guys. Duh. It's a cryptocurrency investment and a political talk radio. Of course, it's opinions.
Disclaimer. When I die, I want to be put into orbit around Earth in a flying kick position. This is my dream. My dream. My dream. My dream. My dream. This is my dream.
All right, welcome back into the Call of Freedom here on LRN.FM. It is our crypto hour here on this second hour, this Monday afternoon drive home broadcast. And, well, we've got quite a few different stories to cover. The first one is about, it came out a little after the Silk Road was taken down. The gentleman connected to it, well, he's dead. U.S. court seizes Lambo and crypto millions from dead dark web kingpin. Thursday.
Hold on. We're not talking about Ulbricht, right?
No, this is someone that came after him.
Okay.
Yeah. This isn't the Silk Road. This is one of the groups that came after the Silk Road.
Okay.
On Thursday, September the 6th, the Fresno Division of the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of California concluded a 14-month-long civil asset forfeiture case to seize the assets and property that belonged to Alexander Casas, the Canadian national who committed suicide by hanging in a Thai prison last summer, days after being arrested on suspicions of operating the darknet marketplace Alphabay. Casas, whose death prevented him from standing trial, is alleged to have facilitated and profited from sales of illegal goods and services to U.S. and overseas customers on Alphabay until it was shut down by law enforcement in a dramatic confrontation outside of his primary residence, where he was let off in handcuffs on conspiracy charges related to identity theft, fraud, racketeering, trafficking, and money laundering on July 7th of 2017.
That's a lot of words for doing stuff the state doesn't like.
Well, according to an arrest video that investigating FBI agent Nicholas Firapidis played at the International Conference on Cybersecurity in January, officials from the FBI, DEA, and Royal Thai Police crashed a squad car into the front gate of Casas's Bangkok mansion to lure him within reach before he could encrypt or wipe digital evidence connected to the crimes. That evidence, administrative accounts logged on into Alphabay forums and servers, along with the text files identifying password credentials for Alphabay website and hosting services, was located on an open laptop that police found in Casas's bedroom while conducting a search and entry raid of his home.
Okay, so the lesson here is always encrypt your stuff and don't keep passwords in plain text files. Well, he didn't. He had them in plain text files, which is a terrible idea anyway. I mean, remember your password, and they can't take that from you. But I mean, if you must put it in a file, encrypt the file.
Well, let's see here. A separate document breaking down Casas's net worth, assessed at $23 million, recorded enormous sums of money, lavish real estate holdings, and expensive cars that played up a life of luxury to match the black market fortune that the 26-year-old is said to have amassed from commissions levied on Alphabay transactions. Because the website did not accept traditional payment methods, Casas possessed more than 8.8 million in cryptocurrencies pooled across 1,605.05 bitcoins, 8,309.27 Ethereum, 3,691.98 Zcash, and an unknown amount of Monero, the financial statement indicated.
And an unknown amount of Monero.
Because they can't track that.
Because the website did not accept... customer funds were moved into multiple shell companies and cryptocurrency exchanges undetected this way. As federal complaints say, Casas used mixers and tumblers to programmatically split and combine the cryptocurrencies between several wallets, obscuring transaction histories.
He could have just used Monero and saved himself the trouble.
Yeah, like, y'all need to learn how to launder money better. Like, it's not really even that hard.
The business fronts and
that's coming from a CPA.
It's harder to launder crypto, though. I mean, like Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's what the public ledger entails. Is a difficulty masking those transactions, because anyone who cared to could look at the transaction history and go all the way back to the source wallets.
If all you have is, say, Ethereum class or Ethereum, whatever the full name is, and that's every transaction you do in life is in this single cryptocurrency, yeah, that would make it a problem.
Well, that's how he got the millions of dollars. No one was sending cash to his website on the darknet. It was all cryptocurrency.
Right, but he still has the option of converting some of it to other cryptos, just putting some of it in another wallet.
That's what he was doing.
Time out.
He was converting it to other cryptos. He was using tumblers. He was using mixing software, different, and it still, they figured out what he was doing.
I mean, if you try to shapeshift 100 Bitcoin, that's going to get their attention. I doubt they even have enough cryptocurrency to shapeshift 100 Bitcoin at a single instance,
They probably don't, because I've tried to shapeshift stuff, and they were like, we don't have that right now.
It says that the business fronts and exchange wallets, which had their private keys and addresses marked next to the cryptocurrency amounts, were linked to a bank account that Casas and his wife, Sunisa Thapsuan, a native Thai citizen, had registered in Thailand, Switzerland, and the Caribbean to liquidate the funds into fiat money, including $770,000 in cash that he'd been saving on hand. Once the funds were converted, the couple splurged on 4 luxury vehicles at $900,000 for a 2013 Lamborghini Aventador LP700-4 with a vanity license plate that read Tor.
Oh, my good God.
Okay, yeah, don't do that.
Why don't you just hang a sign around your neck that says, come get me in my illicit crypto?
Stop tattooing crypto on your forehead. Stop stunning. Stop having lifestyles that exceed your income. Stop it.
Okay, now...
Well, why would anybody waste their money on a European trash like a Lamborghini? They're throwing guys in prison for
selling $500 worth of Bitcoin, right? And this guy's got an $81,000 Mini Cooper, a $21,000 BMW motorcycle, a $292,957 Porsche Panamera, and 6 beachfront vacation resorts overlooking the coasts of Thailand, Cyprus, St. Phillips, South and Antigua, and Barbuda.
Yeah, so first of all, just general in life, if you have a nicer car than the cop, you're gonna get arrested or at least pulled over. You can't be claiming $10,000 on your tax return, have a tour license plate, and have a Lambo. It does not work that way.
A notoriously
I think the lesson here is don't buy European trash like Lamborghinis.
That would have majorly helped him. He might still be alive if he hadn't bought a Lamborghini.
Wow. Notoriously lucrative.
Just drive domestic, people.
I mean, that's like buying a diamond iPad case. It's just a waste of money for trash. That's what it is.
A notoriously lucrative enterprise from its inception in 2014, September 2014, Alphabay, up to Kazis's incarceration, had been the busiest commercial venue on the dark web, peaking at over 400,000 lifetime users, 370,000 cumulative listings, $800,000 worth of daily transactions at the time of its collapse. In 2015, Alphabay made headlines when vendors sold user data stolen from the U.S. ride-sharing app Uber and British telecommunications and broadcasting giant TalkTalk in company-wide data breaches. The following year and the year after, Alphabay's own website was compromised by hackers who exposed upwards of 213,000 private user messages. Wow.
Well, I mean, yeah, that kind of stuff is big on the dark web. Stolen credit card information, all of that. That's not surprising.
Yeah. All right, well, when we get back here, we'll continue on with the story of, he killed himself and they took...
No, he didn't.
He did.
No, he didn't.
No.
I don't believe that.
I think he probably did. I would have.
He hung himself in a Thai prison, in a Thai jail cell. If you're in jail in Thailand...
How easy is it to hang yourself in prison, though? It's not like they have...
This is Thailand, not America, yo. This is Thailand.
Oh, it's easy in American.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Juicy Juice, 100% juice, providing a full serving of fruit in every 4 ounces. Visit us at juicyjuice.com. When it comes to nutrition, kids need both fruits and vegetables every day to stay healthy and grow. For the ideal mix, your kid should have at least 1.5 cups of any veggie or 100% veggie juice, and 1 cup of any fruit or 100% fruit juice a day. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
Did you know you can get news updates about what's happening with the Liberty Radio Network delivered in the way you prefer? You can sign up for our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. Plus, you can stay in the loop by joining our Facebook profile at facebook.lrn.fm or follow us at Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm. It's all free, so sign up now at updates.lrn.fm for news updates delivered to your email box, facebook.lrn.fm to follow our Facebook page, and twitter.lrn.fm to receive our tweets.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveatpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveatpurse.com.
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. Physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
You're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
تستمتعون إلى برنامج نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
Welcome back to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. It's our crypto hour right now, and we're pushing right through our lineup of today's big stories in crypto. The last one was the guy from Alpha Bay killed himself. The state took all of his property, and
including their Lamborghini with a license plate of Tor.
So yeah, the U.S.
What was that joke that used to be? Here's your sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made their own
people.
sign.
Yeah,
yeah. Stupid people should have to wear signs that just say "I'm stupid." This guy had two.
But yeah,
the Lambo and the license plate.
So the American government is now $23 million richer.
I'm curious, how far out of jurisdiction are they? Having someone arrested in Thailand?
The America's jurisdiction has no end. America's jurisdiction ends
I know
at the
in
border,
practice it doesn't.
Ends at the border of Iran, which is why we hate
Russia.
them. And North Korea. No, if he had been in Russia, Russia would have helped bust him with the U.S.
No, we couldn't get Snowden.
After they'd asked him a few, probing questions.
Yeah.
Well, just because they're not extraditing Snowden doesn't mean they wouldn't extradite anybody for any reason.
Snowden is damaging to the U.S., whereas this guy
he's an asset.
is just money.
They're not keeping Snowden out of our hands for Snowden's sake.
Yeah.
Well, I know that, but keeping
Snowden
him out of our hands.
Useful,
I mean, he's selling drugs and stuff to the United States. I mean, what?
They probably said, we'll give you 1% of what we take. Just grab him for us. Thailand, it was just like, do it, and they were like, okay.
Yeah. Well, that's how we enforce copyright law in Sweden.
Yeah. Do this. Yes.
Go raid the Pirate Bay offices.
Yes.
Why?
Master.
They're not breaking any Swedish laws because we said so.
Yes, Master.
And the MPAA wants us to.
Bork.
Oh, okay.
That's why you got to go to Iceland,
totally
not Sweden. I don't actually know that in any depth.
Well, Sweden has the most pro-freedom copyright laws in the world. Just about anything qualifies as fair use over there, which is why the Pirate Bay was, founded there.
Yeah. It sounds like somebody who only has copyright law because a treaty made them have copyright.
Well, that's essentially it.
Don't be fooled. The Swedish chef never came up with any of his own recipes. They were all stolen.
By treaty, we mean we have bigger guns than you, and you did it so that we keep them in our in the
yeah, that's what a treaty is.
Well, no, some treaties.
It's kind of like that quote contract you sign at the DMV.
well, no, some treaties are like so you have guns and I have guns, and let's promise not to use them against each other. But if someone tries to shoot you, I'll stand up for you, and if someone tries to shoot me, you stand up for me.
I'm mean,
that's
like
some kind of treaties. But then there are treaties
back in the day. That's what a treaty was like.
Then there are the treaties you have with the U.S. where it's like, so we're America and we say that you're going to do this. So here's the line you sign here. And they go, but we don't want to do this. And they go,
oh, that's okay. We got these nukes.
You don't.
over here.
There's something you don't understand about this offer. We weren't asking.
It's December. Do you remember Nagasaki? You know, like, do you remember Hiroshima? Yes, we do. It was a horrible, horrible thing. I know, wasn't it?
Well,
I know, wasn't it?
It'd be a shame if something like that happened over there.
Right.
Why are you pointing at my house? Oh.
So Bangkok, it's a nice city, isn't it?
Would be a shame if something happened to it.
Flattened or, you know.
Incinerated.
Yeah. The United States government now arrests people for going to Singapore to do things that are illegal here but legal there.
Oh, they've been doing that for a while. That's not new.
Well, isn't
America's jurisdiction doesn't end?
Isn't the explanation for that you are engaging in the American passport system with the intention of committing a crime? I'm not saying it's right, but isn't that the justification that they use?
Well, how do you know?
I don't think so, because you could. So, and it's for the purpose of. So, like, if you have a business meeting in Singapore and you're like, I'm going to Singapore because I have this business meeting, but while I'm there, I'm going to do coke and 15-year-old prostitutes, that's okay. But if you're like, I'm going to Singapore because I want to do coke and 15-year-old prostitutes, that's a federal offense.
I'd like to
well, see, that's backwards because
that
that's what
opinions are not necessarily interpretations of the United States law.
Because that's what our senators and representatives do, is they go to Thailand and Singapore and the Philippines and they do coke and 12-year-old prostitutes.
Well, if you're a senator or representative, it's probably really easy to be like, this was a diplomatic trip. No, I'm not saying that's how it's going to turn out in court.
I'm a senator. Shut up.
Well, yeah, that too.
I'm a senator. I do all the right things. I kiss Israel's butt. I vote yes on every funding package for Lockheed Martin.
And it's also the case that
that's why the Pizzagate scandal that they made up and
I do all the immoral things that I'm supposed to do. So the CIA and the FBI should look the other way while I do these other immoral things.
Well, they never looked their way in the first place. Everyone knows that they're going to these foreign countries to have sex with underage prostitutes. It's been common knowledge since like 1950.
They're the ruling class, though.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, yeah, and so just like they're going to get away with it regardless, you might not get away with it regardless.
Depends on if
regardless
you got
of
money.
what that piece of paper says. Doesn't really matter that much.
Are you the CEO of Shell Oil?
Or the cashier.
Or are you just a regular guy who owns a couple Shell Oil gas stations? That's the difference.
Yeah.
The first guy, you're not going anywhere.
Well, it's
we
more like,
rewrote the tax code
did you take a private
just
jet?
for you. Do what?
Did you take a private jet to go do this?
Yeah, exactly. Did you fly your own jet to go do this? Well, then you got problems.
Yeah.
Did you fly business class? Economy class. Oh, well, you're just SOL.
You're not making it out of the airport.
Yeah. We're going to arrest you before you go do the blow and the hookers. We saw you post about the fact you wanted to on Facebook because you're stupid.
I don't know why people keep posting what crimes they're going to commit on Facebook.
I know.
I wish they would stop it.
So,
because they want attention more than they want freedom.
The best is the ones that they tape themselves committing the crime and post it on Facebook. You know,
like the idiotic chick who like robbed a bank or something, and then took a video of her with all the cash.
Oh no, my favorite was the one that was like two ladies and their kids, and they vandalized a mosque and they like Facebook lived the whole thing, and they're telling their kids like, "Go steal that stuff over there," and it's like, wait, what? You do?
Yeah, we played that on air.
We did. We played it on air, and it's like, you do realize how Facebook Live works, right? Like, you are.
Well, it's more like how Facebook works. They don't think that, Facebook and government are essentially one and the same.
Even if it's not government, like people don't understand the fact that Facebook is a website, and when you post things to a website, other people can see it.
Yeah, but if government wasn't involved in that equation, it wouldn't be a problem. It'd be like, okay, here's just some asshole posting crap on the internet.
Unless your neighbors report you to the cops with this video,
and then government is involved.
Yeah, but now
what
Facebook
is the difference
has
between a random person posting
look for stupid people so that Facebook can report, and they're like, I wonder if police departments have like a private messenger, and if someone in their town posts something stupid, they just get like a little notification.
If you're looking for work, or even if you're not, here's an innocent mistake you really want to avoid. Never return calls before listening to your voicemail. Your wireless phone sends calls you didn't answer into voicemail, and it shows you phone numbers for calls you missed. Important. Don't call back callers you missed until you have first listened to your messages. Otherwise, you frustrate people who bothered to leave messages by asking them to repeat a message they just left as your voicemail greeting instructed them to. If you're a job applicant, this alone could be a deal killer. And even if you're not, there are few things you can convey to someone that are as fundamentally maddening as, "I didn't hear you." With money and attention so scarce now, effective communication skills have never been more important. For more tips for job seekers and everyone else, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com. Join Daryl W. Perry on Peace, Love, Liberty Radio as he brings you news, views, and opinions while promoting the ideas of peaceful interaction.
The FBI or CIA or NSA or any other government agency could also go to the FISA court and say that we want information on anyone associated with anyone who is under investigation by the FBI. If they could somehow connect you, my listener, to me, then you could possibly be subject to investigation by the FBI, the NSA, the CIA, or any other government agency. Not because I directly am under investigation that I am aware of, but as a donor to antiwar.com, and knowing that they have been investigated by the FBI, then it's very possible.
Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com.
The three most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. It's my firm belief that the AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented groups. Support all your favorite organizations, but make sure you give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.fm. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार सिर्फ और सिर्फ LRN.fm पे.
Hey everybody, my name is Carlos Matos and I am coming from New York City, New York. Let me tell you guys that I am so excited, I am so happy, I am really so thrilled to be right now sharing this amazing, glorious, super and exciting moment of my life with all of you guys. And let me tell you that we are really changing the world as we know it. The world is not anymore the way it used to be. No. Be connected.
right, welcome back into the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live from our Horizon.global studio here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And, coming up next is somebody stealing, scamming, something.
You mean in addition to the government stealing all of this dude's Bitcoin and cars?
Yeah, right.
We have another scam?
We do. This is something, we've been covering the usage of these scripts and this types of software for, about a year now. Now they're targeting government websites. Cryptojacking scripts found on Indian government sites.
What's great? Yeah, but no one visits Indian government sites.
Official government websites in India ran crypto mining scripts without their owner's knowledge. The Economic Times reported Monday. Municipal government websites.
Does this mean that the Indian government is technically in violation of their own anti-crypto statutes?
I think so.
Well, your own statutes don't apply to you. That's not how statutes work.
Yeah. Municipal government websites in the state of Andhra Pradesh, among others, were infected by crypto mining software such as CoinHive. Security researchers have found.
CoinHive's got to get their crap together. Their reputation is going to be destroyed.
Researchers visiting these websites would then inadvertently mine cryptocurrency on behalf of the hackers who injected the scripts into the websites originally. The process is called cryptojacking, as the malicious scripts essentially hijack a user's computer to mine cryptocurrencies.
Installed no block. Ad block.
Right. Security researchers.
Or no script. Or
Shakil Ahmed, Anisha Sarma, and Indrajit Boyan. Yeah, that's right. Discovered the vulnerabilities, finding that three of the sites running cryptojacking malware belonged to the ap.gov.in subdomain, which sees 160,000 hits every month, according to the report. Boyan told the Times
well, that's trivial. That's true. You're not going to get anything CPU mining with that few visitors in a month.
Boyan told the Times that government websites are popular targets for malicious actors, saying hackers target government websites for mining cryptocurrency because those websites get high traffic and most people trust them. Earlier, we saw a lot of government websites getting defaced. Now, injecting cryptojackers is more fashionable, as the hackers can make money off of that. Andhra Pradesh's IT secretary didn't respond to a request for comment.
Shocking.
Though the state's IT advisor to the chief minister, J.A. Chowdhury, said, "Thanks for notifying us about the AP website hacking on September 10th, according to a report." Despite acknowledging the cryptojacking malware, the websites continued to run the scripts as of September the 16th.
I think we may know who put those miners on there.
It's unclear how long.
It may be the guy who said, "Thank you for notifying us about this hack," and then did nothing about it. Just maybe.
It's unclear how long each website ran cryptojacking software or how much cryptocurrency was mined for the attackers.
Well, they meant how long they have been running, because they are still running it, apparently.
Right.
So I think it's a pretty good bet that it's someone in the Indian government who did this. Probably in the IT department, probably heading it up.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, thanks for pointing that out for us.
Yeah, we'll get right on that. Thank you. Your job is done.
And as of September the 16th, so that's yesterday, the scripts are still there. Sounds like a new form of taxation to me.
It does.
I bet all the Fed.gov websites will start doing it now.
Well, Ripple won't use it.
Well, Ripple's not a crypto.
Amen to that. Oh my God. Yes. Oh my goodness. That would be a good candidate for caning, punishment. Oh, okay. Anyway, so I totally lost my train of thought. So yeah, I mean, now I guess this is like a new way to fund government. That's what it is. They don't pay the IT department enough. So they had to figure out a way to fund the IT department so they didn't have to raise taxes.
Well, I doubt the rest of the government knew about it. I think it was probably just the one guy going, "Hey, I've got access to these servers. I'm going to make some money."
Yeah, this doesn't really sound like an institutionalized thing. This sounds like a guy with access to the website.
Yeah, they're like, oh, somebody installed this on the website. And he's like, yeah, I'll get right to that.
And having 10 years of experience as an IT manager, I will tell you that, when someone contacts me and says, hey, this server is infected, you drop everything and you deal with that infection.
Yeah, you don't go, all right.
I'll do that, I'll put it on the list,
Yeah, and then 2 weeks later, it's this malicious scripts are still running.
Yeah, even if you have other things to do, something like that immediately jumps to the top of the priorities list.
Yeah. So,
but I'm one of those few IT people who actually take IT security seriously. So what do I know?
You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to leave security wide open. That way they have to call you over and over and over again.
I know.
If people would just figure out how to charge more, it's like, okay, well, this is going to be $1,000. Like, why is that? Because you're not going to have to call me again for 5 years. Like, okay.
I have a client who is still running just fine from work I did for them about 4 years ago. I mean, there is a conflict of interest in IT and service in general, where if you do too good of a job, they don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
programmed obsolescence.
Yeah, it creates this mentality of do good but not perfectly, which is why retainer systems and subscription systems are so important for these service industries. Because that way you remove that conflict of interest. You're not worrying about, okay, well, if I fix them too well, I'm not going to get paid next month because they're going to pay you next month anyway.
Yeah. Reminds me of the Dodge Side Slant 6.
The what?
The Dodge Side Slant 6. The Side Slant 6.
I don't know what that means.
Came in a Dodge Dart and a Plymouth Volare for 1 year. It was the perfect engine. Good gas mileage. And you could run it for 3 hours through the desert with no oil in it. It was the unkillable engine. You could do just about anything you wanted to it, and you just couldn't blow the damn thing up. You couldn't tear it up. And they were like, this has got to go. Because selling cars, the money's not in selling the car. The money is in selling the parts. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of parts. And when you create an engine that won't die, no one ever buys another car or another part. And then your business goes under.
Well, wasn't it Ford who talked about that idea of engineering obsolescence?
Yeah.
So that, he didn't want to sell a car to everyone in America and then never sell a car again. So...
Well, what you need to do
That's why phones only last 2 years.
Yeah, you build the car just well enough to last till about 40 miles past the extended warranty.
Yep.
Because cars will
Or you construct your warranty so that it expires right when the car does.
Yeah. That's what Dodge...
And it doesn't cover half of the things anyway.
Dodge, I'm fairly sure, does that. Because every Dodge vehicle that my family has ever owned, right around the time the warranty goes, it's time to go out, the radio or the air conditioning stop working. And that's like the first thing as soon as the warranty's over. And it's just one thing after the other from that point forward. Just over and over and over again. So anyway, when we get back here, Forbes is weighing in. One of their journalists says, you know what? Don't worry about the ups and downs. Don't worry about the spikes. Don't worry about the dips. Embrace the bipolar attitudes of cryptocurrency. Bitcoin's bipolar. Let's just accept it.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you're helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. That's Bitcoin.com.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way. You can do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me. Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa. Hey. Who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video or audio
compile this.
No, I have work today.
You ain't gonna make it.
Wait
now.
Wait a minute.
Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable!
Why are you running from me?
Because you're scared me.
What
am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this?
Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm. On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
You are listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.fm. Unasikiliza wito wa uhuru katika LRN.fm.
All right, welcome back to the final segment of this crypto hour here on the Call to Freedom, here on LRN.FM. And we got a story coming out here. Says that a Forbes journalist bought Bitcoin at $14. Says if bear markets terrify you, take some advice from an experienced economic researcher and editor at Forbes who bought Bitcoin for only $14. Things are far more serious when you're charged for Bitcoin's price oscillations. An intellectual affair. Jeffrey Tucker knows money. Not strictly as an entrepreneur, businessman, or trader, but as a researcher of financial innovation. His attraction to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies was only natural. My interest was purely intellectual, just as my fascination with money as a topic had been since I first bumped into the subject.
And also bow ties.
Right. As someone who knows finance and
bow
banking
ties are cool
inside out, and who has loathed government.
Only on Jeffrey Tucker.
Right, and has loathed government.
I think you're overlooking Matt Smith.
And is
Am I the only one who watches Doctor Who? Really?
I don't know
No,
who
you're
the
not.
actors are.
I said fictional character. Jeffrey Tucker is the real Doctor, after all.
Oh, no, he's not.
That sounded really horrible.
Tom, I knew you watched Doctor Who. I don't know what I'm thinking.
As someone who knows finance and banking inside out, and who's loathed government-issued currency his entire career, learning about a viable alternative to money was the ultimate intellectual turn-on.
Well, it's not an alternative to money. It's an alternative to state money.
Now hold on a minute. You were getting you were getting frustrated with us for interrupting your discussion of crypto with frivolities about Jeffrey Tucker, and now we're talking about Jeffrey Tucker's turn-ons?
Tucker advocated for adoption before many other journalists and famous aficionados emerged. You would think that made him popular. His articles proved to champion a worthwhile project that increased more than 300 times in value since he started doing it. Things are radically different if that's what you expect. Tucker was instead seen as a shill. When Bitcoin's prices raised, his critics said that he was blowing the bubble on social media. When it dropped, it was even more of a drama. Not even Tucker expected that to happen. Think of Tucker's words whenever someone tries to dismiss you when you tell them about crypto. I was mistaken for being a stock picker of sorts, not because of anything I wrote, but because many people are too intellectually dim to imagine that a financial technology can be admired for its architectural beauty, completely independent of its price. Do you think it has utility and it works? Well, think about that and forget about the price. This is about the long term. This is about the advice Tucker valued most when Bitcoin's price first fell by more than 50% following the end of the 2013 rally. Everyone's familiar with advice like this nowadays, yet it's hard to live by, as when Tucker in 2014, when Bitcoin fell from $1,150 all the way back down to $200. In Tucker's own opinion, price itself's not really the point. Cryptocurrencies have an untrustworthy volatility that doesn't reflect their utility. And besides, the industry is truthfully still in a testing phase. The range of time to think about is in terms of years, 5, 10, 20 years. Year over year, Bitcoin is up from 4,000 to 6,500, a 62.5% increase.
You can't go, don't worry about the price. Worry about the price 5 years from now.
Yeah, like you could say this is a long-term investment.
But not even that.
But
He's saying,
that doesn't mean don't worry about the price.
That's not what he's saying, though. He's saying, don't worry about the price. Worry about its utility as a currency. But 5 years from now, it could be worth 10 times more. Okay, those two statements completely conflict with each other. You're either worried about the price or you're not. Saying don't worry about the price is not the same as saying don't worry about the short-term price.
He's not saying don't worry about the price. He's saying that the price isn't the point.
And then he immediately goes, because 10 years from now, it could be worth a lot more. So I mean, he is conflicting with himself. He's saying what he means is short-term ups and downs aren't important.
He's not
because
the
in the
most
long
logical
term, it's going up. Okay, that's still not the point, Jeffrey. It's still not the point. The point is to create a currency that we can use to undermine the state. That is the point. Going 10 years from now, it could be worth a lot more money is not the point. We do that here on the show, and we criticize ourselves for it. So it's only fair for you to have the same self-awareness to go, you know what? I just did the same exact crap I'm telling people not to do. I mean, we lamented the collapse of cryptocurrencies earlier this year. We are still lamenting it. We are mourning. But we acknowledge that, that's not the point, and that we are being short-sighted when we fixate on these costs and the values and the prices.
Well, it does help, because if I'm going to convince statists to use crypto, I can't say to them, well, look, this isn't the point. It might go down and stay down, and you should just not worry about that. That's not going to work for them.
Well, they don't say the price isn't the point then.
Well, right. Yeah, no, he's contradicting himself because he's more feels-driven than most people I tolerate, but...
He's more what?
He's more feels-driven than I tend to tolerate in people, but yeah, no, he's definitely contradicting himself.
Of course, the doctor is feels-driven. He's got 2 hearts.
He is not.
Okay,
doctor.
Jeffrey Tucker is not a Time Lord from a fictional TV show. He's just somebody who
he's real.
Hold on.
I fully recognize that he's real.
Doctor Who is fictional?
So these Tucker.
Way to go, Melanie! You just broke Arya's heart.
These Tucker conclusions.
Well, she has another one, right?
These are Tucker's conclusions. However,
I'm a Time Lord.
Because humans are used to thinking in terms of trends rather than big pictures.
Will has no interest in our banter.
Many see. Well, I want to get through this. We've got 2 minutes left. Many see 2018 as a catastrophe, even though, honestly, on past occasions, the market's been much worse. And still recovered.
It's easy to say that when you bought Bitcoin at $14. So maybe he should shut up and have some respect for the people who bought it at $14,000.
That's not him. That's the author.
Okay, well, he's still wrong. They're both wrong. I mean, it's easy to say that. It is if you bought it at $5,000 or $4,000, but if you bought it at $13,000 or $14,000, yeah, it's been a crappy year.
It has. It has. Well,
and you can't just go, but maybe next year will be better.
It's a 62.5% increase from this time 12 months ago.
Is it?
62.5%.
Last year, the end of last year was just really high.
Yeah.
Like, you can't really expect it to.
Yeah, but because of its height, that is the point at which most people purchase.
Yeah.
Well, that's the exact opposite of what you're supposed to do in that sense.
If only we had a machine.
But if nobody does that, then the price won't go up.
If only somebody had a machine.
Well, then it'll be stable.
Back in time. You know? Maybe shaped like an old British phone box. I'm looking at you, Jeffrey Tucker. We're on to you.
That's how he got the Bitcoin for $14.
We've just figured it out. We just saw the article.
He went back and
he went back
last week.
Yep.
He traveled back in time last week and bought.
Well, last week in our time, you know, it's wibbly wobbly timey wimey.
So want to hear something really funny? I went to the grocery store on the way to work today, right? Because we needed to do a little bit of grocery shopping. We needed onions, like everything that we were talking about cooking needed onions, right?
Uh-huh.
So we go to the store and we do the grocery shopping and we get the stuff that we need. And my wife got home and she starts cooking dinner and she sends me a message just now and says, "So you didn't get the onions?"
Oh my god!
And I'm like, damn it. But the number one reason that we went to the store was onions. What we walked out without?
Well, Jeffrey probably went back in time to kill Hitler or something. He was like, well, I ended up getting Bitcoin instead and totally forgot about killing Hitler.
You should be Jeffrey Tucker's companion, and then he could take you back to get some onions.
If you go back in time to kill baby Hitler, then there's no reason to go back in time to kill baby Hitler.
Yeah,
so you
wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey, though.
Yeah, wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey.
Yeah, you see, but they tried that once, and it turned out that that was. Let's not even try to explain that.
Let's not talk about those particular episodes. How about that?
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. shop.freekeen.com.
Did you know you can listen to LRN.FM via our free-to-air satellite channels? We have channels over nearly all of North America and much of Africa. All you need is an affordable receiver and a dish as small as 30 inches. There are no monthly fees. Learn more at sat.lrn.fm. Plus, if you are a broadcaster or want to be one, this is a good delivery method for our content. See our coverage maps and get details at sat.lrn.fm. That's sat.lrn.fm. sat.lrn.fm.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin. mymagicmud.com.
More of the Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Friday, September 14th, 2018. Silver is trading at $14.20 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,203 per ounce. Zen is trading at $16, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,460. Antiwar.com reports Turkish officials announced Wednesday that they sent hundreds of additional special forces, along with tanks, armored vehicles, and other equipment, across the border into Syria's Idlib province. They are intended to reinforce Turkish military posts in northern Syria. Turkish officials say that the intention is to deter the Syrian military from launching an offensive against the Idlib province, which is under control of various rebel factions, the largest of which is Al-Qaeda's Nusra Front. Turkey is aligned with some of these fighters in supporting regime change in Syria. In addition to boosting their direct military presence in Idlib, Turkey has also sent a large amount of additional weapons and ammunition for rebels to use. Rebel sources say they have been told Turkey will provide military support for a long, protracted battle. Idlib and neighboring areas are the last major rebel enclaves inside Syria. For Syria to recover the territory would effectively end the war, though doing so is likely to take a major offensive. Syrian and Russian planes have been conducting airstrikes along the outskirts, trying to soften up defenses before a ground invasion. There is no timetable for such an invasion. Zencash has changed their name to Horizon to better represent their transition from a cryptocurrency to a pioneering platform that protects consumer data. They are working towards the day when anyone will be able to build privacy-based applications on the Horizon platform. The unique spelling of Horizon is a nod to their heritage and recognizes that they remain committed to the vision that their project was built upon. Their coin and ticker symbol remain ZEN. Learn more at horizon.global and join the Horizon community. HORIZEN.global. UPI reports lawmakers in the U.S. House and Senate say they agreed Thursday on a bipartisan fiscal package that seeks to avert President Donald Trump's promise to shut down the government in an effort to get funding for his proposed border wall. The spending bills would fund some 2/3 of the government, including the Pentagon and the Health and Human Services Department. The package also includes a stopgap spending measure to ensure the government stays open through December 7th. Details of the package have not been revealed. Representative Rodney Frelinghuysen, chairman of the House Committee on Appropriations, said the bipartisan package, should Trump sign it, would avoid a battle over a potential shutdown until after the midterm elections. Trump has threatened to force a government shutdown on October 1st if a spending bill does not include the billions of dollars he would need to build his border wall. Politico reported that lawmakers hope the fiscal package as agreed upon Thursday will make it politically impossible for Trump to do so. Representative Rosa DeLauro said the president will have to sign it into law or shut down the government. House and Senate aides told CNN that the White House said Trump plans to sign the package. You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans are friends, allies, and numerous supporters. Fans help FPP afford to produce more original content. You can join the Fans program for as little as $1 per month through Patreon and get perks like ad-free versions of FPP Radio News and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. That's fans.fppradio.com. Reuters reports Attorney General Jeff Sessions on Thursday vowed to fight back against federal courts that issue injunctions barring the federal government from implementing regulations nationwide and accused federal judges of engaging in judicial activism. In a speech in Missouri, Sessions revealed he was issuing new litigation guidelines that he said would assist our department attorneys in fighting unconstitutional orders all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. Nationwide injunctions have become a favored tool by states and other groups who have staunchly opposed many of the Trump administration's more controversial policy initiatives. They allow a single judge in one federal district to block the implementation of new rules across the entire country. The new guidelines call on DOJ litigators to fight back against cases that involve nationwide injunctions. During the Obama administration, Republican-led state attorneys general and business groups often sought nationwide injunctions, a strategy that has since been more often deployed by Democratic state attorneys general and civil rights groups who seek to block many of President Donald Trump's policies. According to Sessions, courts have issued nationwide injunctions 25 times since Trump took office. Sessions said in a statement, "This trend must stop. We have a government to run. The Constitution does not grant a single district judge the power to veto executive branch actions." This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
McDonald's is now offering bereavement prices, and a sexual predator gets tenure. This is the Onion Week in Review. This Wednesday, Samsung announced the release of its brand new really big television. Representatives for the South Korean electronics manufacturer told reporters at a press conference that the goddamned gargantuan of an electronics product boasted a variety of new features, including being super heavy and having a screen that was probably 100 inches wide for all they knew.
We here at Samsung think this new product will appeal to today's consumers who are looking for a television that's really, really huge. I mean, this thing is built like a Mack truck. You just really have to see it to believe it.
In other news, an important decision is sent up to the company's highest idiot. And an area mother doesn't see why Thai people need to make food so spicy. Today's Onion Review was sponsored by Bamboo Garden, voted the best family-owned Chinese restaurant in Idaho for 5 years running.
This is the Onion News Network.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom live on LRN.FM. تستمعون إلى نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
For the final hour of this Monday afternoon broadcast on your drive home of the crypto of the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM, broadcasting live from the Horizon Global Studio in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. I've got Melanie and Aria in studio right now, and we're joined live via remote by Mr. Tom Gray as well. And well, at the beginning of the show, we were talking about some stuff that I think literally all of us except Tom were involved in today. Melanie, are you?
Yeah, this is what I get for going to the gym. I miss all the fun.
Are you an atheist?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I don't attack people who have different positions than me. Yeah. I attack people who make bad arguments.
Yeah. So
okay, so you're a non-theist.
Yeah. So
that's the word. That's the word I'm adopting for atheists that aren't
idiots.
Big fat Richards.
Yeah. Atheists that are as demanding of their own views and values being grounded in logic as they are in the people that they're debating against. Because according to them, my views are illogical. Even though his arguments are illogical.
To be fair, you didn't make an argument, which is fine because you didn't say this is an argument. You stated a conclusion. So it can't be either logical or illogical because there's no logical argument in it. I didn't read it to mean to be a logical argument, so it can't be illogical or logical.
It is so idiotic for an atheist to get butthurt about a religious person saying that, hey, I believe some people are going to hell.
Well, no,
dude, will you please shut up about this place that you don't even believe in?
To get butthurt about a religious person telling other religious people from the same religion that they're not religioning the right way. Like,
yeah.
So our book teaches this, and you're advocating this, and these two things don't match. I hate God, and God's not real. Hello.
And technically, Will in that post didn't even say that anybody was going to hell. He just said they were religioning wrong.
Hello, random person who has nothing at all that they're adding to this conversation. So you hate religion, okay?
He's got religious Tourette's.
What does that have to do with the topic? I think you're stupid, Magic Sky Daddy, Bronze Age moron. Okay, but again, what does that have to do with the conversation that we're having here?
Well, I asked him that like twice, and on neither occasion was he able to give me an answer about how what he was talking about had anything whatsoever to do with what you said.
So
he gets into this conversation about people in Pakistan throwing gays off a roof or whatever. I'm like, okay, fine, yeah, okay, that happened, and they call themselves Muslims. My question is, if you're genuinely judging people individually, what in the hell does that have to do with anything Will said? So this thread isn't related to that. I know. So why did you bring up all this crap?
I mean, this is literally an ad hominem. Your idea is bad because someone else with that idea threw somebody off a building.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even the same idea.
Yeah, it's not even the same idea.
Theirs is a perversion of that idea because they're statists, they're authoritarians, and they're attempting to use the religion as an excuse to impose their statist worldviews onto others.
Yeah. Basically, the throwing the guy off a roof is vigilantism, which is against the religion. I don't agree with what you did. I'm going to throw you off a building. Wait. What happened to the trial? I don't think they should get one. Yeah, but the prophet said everyone gets one. If there's a disagreement, you take it before a judge. Well, but that takes too much time, and I just want to throw him off the roof now. Well, then
if you want to throw people off roofs, you're not. It's not going to matter what your religion says. You're going to find an excuse to throw somebody off a roof.
Then your parents are going to be going to court. Then their parents are going to be taking you to court. Well, why is that? Because you killed.
Because you go around throwing people off of roofs. Stop it.
Because you violated their rights. Now you either have to pay them for the rest of their lives for what their son could have done to help support them, or you die. It's the way this works. Well, yeah, but I want to just do what I want to do. Okay, but that's not the religion.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not Islam.
But to this cat, that's the religion. I just want to do what I want to do. Yeah, that's the religion. I don't know any religion that's I'm just going to do what I want to do. I don't know.
I do.
Secularism.
Statism.
No, that's here.
No, not really. You're supposed to follow laws and stuff.
Yeah.
No, you're supposed to create and enforce laws in statism.
Well, the adherents
in the Batman video game Arkham Origins, it has this dude named Anarchy, right? And what he does is he goes around planting bombs throughout the city, and he says, "Okay, if you don't do what I demand, I'm going to detonate all these bombs." He's not an anarchist. He's a statist.
No, yeah.
There's no qualitative difference between his bombs and Stalin's soldiers.
No.
Or this random person with a knife throwing gay people off of buildings. They're all exactly the same. It's just statist. The difference is the size of the state, whether it's one individual or Stalin's empire or anarchy's crap.
I know that this is totally off topic, but I found a comedy musical called The Death of Stalin, and I totally am watching it tonight.
No, and this,
what? Yeah.
And as far as I know, he's from up here, so it's not like he's ever dealt with any extremist violence.
Florida, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind then.
But yeah, but
no, he quite clearly knows nothing about Muslims. Quite clearly.
I think he needs to show us on the doll where religion hurt him when he was like 10, and then he should go have it out with his grandmother or his mom or whoever it was that hurt him with religion.
Well, yeah, I mean, so like, if you're from the Middle East or the South, I understand why you
randomly messaging me like, you know what?
There are people who have been hurt by religion.
Yeah. I'm in the studio with one. I am one. That didn't.
He isn't.
I didn't. He doesn't
appear to be
because of it though. When
I did, but I used to be an angry teenager.
Yeah,
I grew up.
We all did. Yeah, exactly. I'm over 35 now. It's time to be a little. Yeah. Anyway, so this was all brought on. There was a speech that was, or a little bitty tirade that was posted by someone who's going to be a guest on the show on Thursday, 6 o'clock. Daniel, I'm just calling him Danny L. Hawk because he just is pissing people off because he's just saying things that are true according to our religion, and it's making people mad that are big names in our religion. So it says here, at this year's ISNA convention, that's the Islamic Society of North America, and this is the convention where they were having that protest outside, and they were like, "They's in there planning terrorist attacks. We should storm the building." That guy.
So hold on, because this group they don't like was having an open meeting in a public place.
Like thousands of Muslims.
Their response was, we should commit terrorism against them.
Yeah, basically.
Well, you have to commit terrorism to prevent terrorism.
Welcome to America.
Well, it says here,
I like my blue flags and I like my trucks.
And then later on when they're mad at you, you could be like, see all these people, they're angry and stuff.
Yeah,
I told you Islam was an angry religion.
See how they reacted when I swung this severed pig's head on a pike at a crowd of small children? That literally happened one time in Michigan. A group of street preachers went to an Arab festival, not a Muslim festival, just an Arab cultural festival, found a large group of children together and swung a severed pig's head on a pole at the group of children like it was garlic and they were vampires. And when the crowd reacted, they claimed victimhood and then sued the city for forcing them to leave because, we had the Bible and we had Bible verses on our shirts, so freedom of religion, thank you.
Which is a problem.
Way to show off the love of Christ, you pieces of crap.
Well, one time I stuck my finger in an anthill and they bit me. So I got really mad. I mean, those ants, how dare they? So I poured gasoline in there. And I lit them on fire.
And then you got mad at it for being on fire.
No, it needed to be on fire because it was wrong when it bit me.
When I stuck my finger in it without its consent. I came to your house and I pissed in your pool, and how dare you get mad and tell me I can't swim here no more?
Why would you even want to swim here anymore?
Oh, we'll be back in just a moment.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
This is Angel Clark, and you're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.fm.
All right, welcome back into the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live from our Horizon.global studios today, and we're once again discussing, well, the only real thing I can call it is the unsolicited atheist. But it's not just atheists, like when Austin Peterson was going around talking about, well, I'm a libertarian and I want to be, and I love Austin, he's a friend of mine, but he's still not a libertarian, because if you say I'm a libertarian but the NAP is BS and I think the NAP should be banned, then you're advocating against the central backbone of a philosophy while claiming to be a part of that philosophy.
I don't like him because of his intellectual dishonesty.
People are going to call you on that, right? And rightly so. People should say, when you're like, well, I'm a Christian, but I believe Jesus isn't real.
Pick one.
What? I'm a Christian, but I don't believe in the concept of salvation. What?
That's a problem.
Yeah. And when that happens, people who are in leadership positions, or just people who are members of said social group, are going to be like, so this is the orthodox position of this group, and this is what you're saying over here. And
it's opposite.
They're not the same.
And yes, I'm going to call out Austin Peterson, and I don't like him, but I'm going to call him out anyway.
Yeah. So I'm not even going to say that we're talking about something like that. I mean, this is just saying, look, you know what? You're advocating for something in a way that is incongruent with our value system. So you can be what you're saying you are without doing these other things. Aria works for me. She's a friend of mine. I'm not going to tell the guy that he has to bake a blue and pink cake for her.
I don't think that's a real thing anyway. I think that's something that lawyer made up to get into that lawsuit.
Regardless, the other couple who's like, I'm going to force them to bake the cake. I'm not going to support that.
No, you would point me to a baker who's not a jerk. At the most, you'd be like, okay, well, then go buy your cake over there, Aria.
Problem solved. I mean, what's the issue here? Why?
People have this idea now that it's immoral for you to hurt their feelings. And that's why we're seeing this crap. Like the thing I shared earlier today that basically said, it's transphobic to say you don't treat trans women.
Yeah.
And that's total crap.
Yeah.
And anyone who has actually encountered actual transphobia will recognize that it's crap. But, it comes from this idea that they're entitled to a date.
Which is kind of rapey.
Well, the argument
it's
made
more than
here
kind
by these Muslim activists.
It's entirely rapey.
By basically the new female faces of the Muslim community in the U.S. At the biggest Muslim event in the U.S. The primary claim is that basically you need to support pro-LGBT activism because LGBT individuals get bullied. So we have to work to make sure that LGBT people feel welcome and safe.
I mean, hold on. Who are these LGBT people being bullied? Now, I need to know who these people are because I don't think they
This
exist.
doesn't mean not bullying them personally. This doesn't mean telling other people not to bully them. No.
I don't think it even means bullying for the most part.
It means pushing for gender-neutral bathrooms, advocating in favor of same-sex marriage, and generally supporting the idea of what the author here refers to as normalization.
Is this in the States?
Yeah.
We already have same-sex marriage in the States. I mean, I am not against gay people or trans people, but I am not even in favor of most LGBT activism because it's advocating violations of property rights most of the time. That wasn't true 3 years ago, but I think it's true for the most part in the States today.
Yeah, the LGBT community is totally out of its mind. It's full-blown status. It wants to... They're not listening to the show. So the GSM guy that I spoke with today from the college actually said to me at some point, something to the effect of screw these cis, straight, hetero people or something to that effect. And of course I was like, But I mean, that's the mentality of most LGBT communities in the United States. And you'll find it everywhere online where they just had this idea that being cis or being hetero is disgusting.
An act of aggression.
Yeah. It's aggressive. It should be condemned. It should be like being straight is not a crime either, Well,
the logic put forward here basically is that if you aren't in the street with a gay pride flag in one hand, yelling about bake the cake and marry them, if you're not out there in the streets actively working in favor of it, then...
Well, I spoke about this years ago.
You're complicit in the bullying and the killing. So if someone, even though not, as far as I know, nobody's been killed for being gay since Matthew Lillard.
I don't know that. I'm sure that's not true.
I'm sure it's true in other countries,
but
oh no, it happens quite a lot in the South.
Yeah,
really.
I live like a quarter mile from where a gay dude was beaten to death.
Wow.
And they kill people for being trans even more than that. Yeah. So
I slept with a loaded shotgun on my bed for a reason.
It's illegal, but it's not necessarily prosecuted.
Yeah, right.
So if you're like, hey, let's stop killing gay people, yes, absolutely, because murder last time I checked was an act violation. Pretty much, the worst or second worst one you can commit depending on your opinions there, but.
Well, see, there's a layer to this that we're missing. There's no S in the LGBT alphabet soup, and there never will be. Because if you're straight, you're allowed to be an ally, but that's it. If you're not an ally, you're homophobic.
Or a friend.
Yeah, if you're not any form of GSM, then your relationship to the LGBT community is what defines your orientation. You no longer get to say you're straight. You have to say you're an ally. And if you're not an ally, you're the enemy.
Yeah. And see, that's the problem with this intersectional activism thing that's being pushed so much now is basically the Muslim community feels like they're under threat, that they're under siege because Trump is in office and it's worse than it's ever been, blah, blah, blah. Here's the difference in Trump in office and Obama in office. Trump said Ramadan Mubarak and then invited all the world leaders from the Muslim community to come and kiss the ring. And Obama said, and then bombed a Muslim village the next day. Obama invited all of the activists who are the people who are actually supposed to represent us here in the U.S. and asked them to come kiss the ring, said Ramadan Mubarak, and then bombed a Muslim village the next day. So the difference is the activists that are all pissy now get to take a free trip to the White House. That's literally the only difference.
I mean, you can still take a trip to the White House. A plane ticket's like $200.
But this one, they're honored guests. It's different.
I don't know why you would want to go to the White House. Like, that's icky.
Oh, we have a standing policy at Muslims for Liberty when I worked there that if you were ever in earshot of President Obama at an event that you'd been invited to and you didn't challenge him on drone bombing or spying on the Muslim community, you no longer work for Muslims for Liberty.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
On June 4th, 1919, a group of bold, passionate men took it upon themselves to pass the Women's Suffrage Act, finally granting women the right to vote that they were too frail and helpless to achieve on their own. Having long watched women struggle to stand up for their right to choose elected officials, the strong and capable men decided to intercede and aid their weak female counterparts. And on June 6, 1972, David Bowie's release of his concept album, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust, kick-started the glam rock genre and led to such spin-off trends as glam medicine, glam sports, and glamcatecture, all culminating in the 1976 presidential glam election. And that was what happened this week in history. In the words of French King John II, history will forever remember the great names of Alexander and Napoleon and Washington. But what about me, John II of France? I did stuff too.
This is the Onion News Network.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media, and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
You're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
تستمتعون إلى برنامج نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
Welcome back into the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM, broadcasting live from, the Horizon.Global studios here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And, it's been kind of a, argumentation, unsolicited argumentation, straw man. Hello, straw man. How are you today? So
I mean, that's a common tactic for atheists is to take the worst of whatever religion they feel like targeting at that moment.
Oh, you mean like Ray Comfort?
Yeah, and erect a straw man that bears no resemblance whatsoever to anyone actually practicing said religion.
Yeah,
and then they just blast the hell out of that straw man. I know because I've done it. That's what I was trying to.
Well, yeah, and
this
so
guy on. It's
if you live in Louisiana, Mississippi, Georgia, I understand why you would do that.
I don't. As someone from Mississippi, it's pointless. Target the religion people are actually practicing.
But in those places, that is what they're practicing. But like if you're in New Hampshire...
I got a poll from people in Egypt. So I totally know everything that American Muslims think and feel.
Well, the people pulling up into trans people's yards in Mississippi with baseball bats and chains to hook them to their trucks and crap like that, they're not Christians. They may call themselves Christians, but that doesn't make them Christians.
See, I don't think that...
So
thank you.
I don't look at Christianity as a religion as much as like a genre of religions, whereas there are very different versions of Christianity. Like, I'm not going to say to like an entire half a continent, well, you're not the label you say you are.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool, you are, then these people over here are something completely different.
Yeah, right. Well, now, Tom, I'm going to read this to you because tell me just how benign this actually sounds. It says, when I see a homosexual or transgendered person, I think no less of them than a drunkard or a fornicator or adulterer. Sin is sin is sin, and we all sin. Oh, wait a second. Did I just say I'm evil? Because I just said we.
Not that I heard.
I don't know enough about Islam to answer that, but in Christianity, my answer would be yes.
Is that all?
No, that's not all. No.
Okay.
It says, however, believing the former are sinful, homosexuality and transgenderism, will get you labeled a hater, a bigot, a phobe, and a right-winger. Believing the latter are sinful, fornication and adultery and drunkenness, will not. However, soon believing the latter are sinful will also garner malice from fellow Muslims. We're already heading in that direction. Giving up your religion to attain acceptance is not gaining acceptance. It's changing who you are to please others. It's no different than converting to Christianity to please a Republican. Maybe even worse, as you confuse and drag others down with you. Oh my God, I just got flagged. Somebody
did you post my prostate exam picture?
No, the post about ISNA just got flagged. I gotta get
the trans person commenting on the post takes issue with the flagging of this post.
Well, no, I want to take a picture of this before it disappears.
That's ridiculous. What did you say that was?
It wasn't me. It was that quote from Daniel. What's his face?
I know, but what did you post that was even conceivably homophobic or transphobic?
Well, you're not allowed to talk bad about gay people on Facebook.
I talk bad about gay people all the time.
You might be allowed.
Oh. I say fag like it's a nervous tick.
Oh, most of my friends who say that get banned every time they say that.
I wonder if I'm banned.
The only time I ever got in trouble for it was when I called Augustus Invictus a fag.
Yep, 30-day block.
What?
30 days.
30
I am
days?
That for you.
And I just want to respond to that is not an argument.
I am appealing that for you. But
Yep.
like, hey, I am the trans chick that was commenting on this post. The only one here who was offensive is this Jackson idiot.
30 days.
Johnson idiot.
I got to send you this so that you can send it to the guest.
Okay.
Because I can't communicate with him now.
Welcome to the world I was in.
You're gonna
sucks.
have to go to his page. It's a fan page.
Okay.
Go to his page and be like, so you're supposed to be on the radio show that I'm on, but
Will got blocked for being
here's
a Muslim.
a picture of where where our host posted your post from September 5th. And it was removed. And here's the post. Here's where Facebook told him he's now in a 30-book Facebook jail.
I use the word shemale on Facebook.
Yeah.
No issue.
So now, basically, saying that you believe that homosexuality is a sin will get you banned from Facebook for 30 days.
Well,
yeah, I believe that.
Time to eat me a bed.
No, wait.
I'm going to message him first.
Wait.
But then he can't message you back.
Tell him we need his email address. Like, we need your email address. The host just got blocked.
And I'm fixing it. I've actually never got banned from Facebook. I'm kind of really surprised at that.
Every time. See, I've got...
Dude, they blocked me from even using Messenger.
I can't either. Once I get blocked, I can't use Messenger either.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a full
That's
shutdown.
an unusual one.
No, I'm a full shutdown.
That means you really...
Yeah.
You really pissed them off.
You got priors, though.
Yeah, it does depend on how many...
Lots of priors. I'm surprised I still have a Facebook account. I have so many priors.
Dude, I made them so mad they went
they're not
my
giving up all your
page
advertising
and looked at posts
data.
from like a year ago and rebanned me for things I said like a year and a half ago.
I've had that happen too.
I made them mad.
Well, when I was going to debate Augustus Invictus, the Antifa people targeted me. And they were like, you need to not debate him. And I'm like, he's trying to force himself into libertarian spaces. I don't want him here, so I'm going to debate him because he doesn't belong here.
Because that's how you get rid of people with debates,
And they
not
were
with
like,
throwing Coke bottles at them.
Speaking of which, I'm going to be on Cantwell's show Friday.
If you debate him, then you're giving him a platform. And I'm like, it's not my event. He got invited after I was the headliner. I don't want to be on a stage with him without making it clear and obvious that he doesn't belong there. So I told the organizers, if you don't let me debate him, I will walk. And they put us in a debate. They were going to just give him a room and let him have his own little thing. But I didn't want him to just be there unchallenged.
Did you call him a fag?
No, I didn't.
Everybody needs to call him a fag.
So the Antifa...
And we need to find like the gayest people that we can to go hit on him.
So Antifa targeted my page. I was getting a 30-day block. Like I would be back on for like 3 days and be gone again. And that's what they were doing. They were going, and as soon as my page was active again, they were going and reporting 30-week-old, month-old. They were just going through and trying to find stuff.
Well, yeah, because now that you're banned, so you can't block them.
Yeah.
They could just go through and just like...
And then that's... And so now, this makes sense. Excuse me. I'm being, I'm not being woke. So... And I said Linda
you just only have a trans chick on your radio show.
And it says Linda Sarsour and Zahra Ballou. So I'm sure both of them have like a Twitter army that watch me constantly. And as soon as their names popped up in it, they all reported the post. So, yeah.
I have to wonder if maybe I'm just not being extreme enough because...
I don't know. It's not hard to get a banned on Facebook.
Yeah, they do it to me.
I can send you a picture that will get you
Or
banned.
maybe I have one of those things like on The Wire when they told him not to cut that guy's phone off.
All right.
True story.
With the cannabis.
No, never
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io. The Shire Free Church offers a sanctuary to those seeking an escape from state churches.
The Shire Free Church is an interfaith, diverse group of people that may not share identical theological beliefs. As a member in or minister of the Shire Free Church, you are a sovereign individual and may be the faith of your choice.
We don't claim to have all of the answers.
We are open to all peaceful people.
We want to learn from each other.
What unifies the Shire Free Church and its diverse members is peace,
love, and liberty. There are many paths to God, one for every individual.
The Shire Free Church does not define a specific path beyond those parameters that must be your foundation.
Peace as your way,
love as your guide,
and liberty as your light.
Learn more at church.shiresociety.com.
That's church.shiresociety.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit shiresociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at shiresociety.com. That's shiresociety.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार सिर्फ और सिर्फ LRN.FM पे.
Let's focus our discussion first on marijuana, okay? Marijuana has a very distinct smell, okay? I'm going to pass around just a little tiny bit, and I want you all to take a smell so you know when someone is smoking marijuana near you.
All right, it's time for our cannabis news segment. It's the last segment of this 3-hour Monday afternoon broadcast here on The Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. Ari is just like fighting mad over there right now.
No, not really. But I was thinking that, as long as we're talking about cannabis, we should talk about the people who are so high out of their minds that they decided that was hate speech.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so Aria wants me to read I can't read the whole thing because it's not. Oh, you know what? I bet I can. I can
pull it up. I was just on.
Oh, yeah, here it is. It says, at this year's ISNA convention, 2 activists, Linda Sarsour and Zahra Ballou, took the stage defending their longtime support of LGBT rights. Sarsour even brazenly declaring that some of her dearest and best friends are LGBT. They faced no real opposition at the convention, so let me take this opportunity to strongly denounce their message and their attempt to normalize LGBT within the Muslim mainstream. Don't see a problem so far. Within mainstream Muslim religious circles, thinking that
you don't have to accept something to tolerate it
isn't sinful. We shouldn't be pushing that. Big deal. The primary claim that they made in support for their pro-LGBT activism is that LGBT individuals get bullied and killed. So we have to work to make LGBT people feel safe and welcome. That means setting up gender-neutral bathrooms, supporting same-sex marriage, and generally supporting LGBT normalization. What a bizarre and nonsensical argument. To think about it logically, the fact that someone is mistreated for doing X doesn't mean that X is something good, or that we should support it. Consider crimes of passion, where a husband discovers his wife in bed committing adultery with another man, and he kills him. Obviously, the killing is wrong.
I don't know if I agree with that.
But that doesn't mean that we should suddenly start supporting adultery or work to normalize it so that adulterers can feel safe. Or what about incest, a sexual deviance that's somehow now being claimed as a genetic disposition and should be treated possibly like sexual orientations? The taboo against incest means that those engaged in such behavior sometimes face violence from enraged family members. Should we therefore normalize the behavior and support it, go on stage at national conventions and talk about how awesome it is to enjoy casual intimacy with your mother or father? Well, apparently, logic and basic commitment to fundamental Islamic norms eludes Ballou and Sarsour. Among other things, they have the audacity to essentially accuse people who oppose LGBT normalization of being complicit in the bullying and killing of people. This makes as much sense as saying that unless you support zina and incest, you're completely complicit in the killing of adulterers and incestuous individuals and crimes of passion. That basically, if you don't support a sin, you support murdering people for it. That it's okay to beat people up for doing something you disagree with or murder them if you're not actively fighting in favor of committing the act.
Well, you're not allowed to be neutral any longer.
Exactly. And that's anything. The Muslim position. We're supposed to be neutral. American society...
Except regarding other Muslims.
Exactly.
If a Muslim man said, I'm gay, okay, well, that's a problem.
We need to address it. The community needs to address it. And it's something that the Prophet ﷺ even said, like, I don't really know how to address this issue. Just leave them be. Here in America, it's not our culture, so it's not our business. They're not Muslim. The culture here accepts it, so it's none of our business.
Yeah.
What we shouldn't be is out there in the streets with a flag and I'm with the slut walk and we need to not be doing that. But the argument is if you're not doing that, then by not doing that, you are at the Trump rally while you're sitting on your couch at home.
Would she apply that same retarded logic to the Amish?
Yes. Are they white? Yes.
Believe me, they apply that logic to those of us on the Christian side of things.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty consistent.
I don't think it's fair to
just
simply call the Amish Christian, though, Tom. I mean, they are distinctly different from your average Christian.
Oh well,
no, I said on the Christian side of things.
Here's how you can tell it's hate speech. Is it continues on. It says, as I have said time and again, if we truly want to support LGBT individuals, we have to oppose their behavior. If we truly care about those struggling with same-sex desires, help them manage those desires, counsel them, support them in their struggle. This is what real support is, not facilitating their behaviors by marching with a rainbow pin. I wonder what Baloo and Sarsauer have to say about the prophet Lot. What did he do for his people? Did he support and accept their behavior, encourage it, facilitate it? No. His approach was to call them to a better way. And for those of us who say, well, yeah, but this isn't a Muslim country, well, neither was the society where Lot lived. Lot's society was one among the worst in human history. Yet that did not prevent him from enjoining the good and denouncing evil.
I mean, it forms the root word of everything LGBT people do sexually.
Do what?
The place Lot is from, it forms the root word of everything LGBT people do sexually.
Yeah, true. Very true. And for those of us who say, yeah, but we're a minority. Well, there was no smaller minority than Lot and his simple family of 4 other people. They faced threats on their lives, severe backlash from the majority. That did not stop them from opposing fahisha of the majority. And Allah saved them. Well, that is, except for the wife who disobeyed. In reality, our situation in the U.S. is not even
turned into salt.
Is not even 1% as dire as Lot. There are millions of people in the U.S., some of whom are quite powerful and wealthy, who openly oppose LGBT, but somehow some Muslims are too quiet and too cowardly to raise a peep. Ultimately, we have to ask ourselves, are we ourselves and others, or are we going to follow the path to misguidance? And
I think he should have probably worded that part better, because Muslims, as I understand the religion, probably shouldn't be opposing it in wider society, but within their own community.
Yeah. Well, again, it comes back
and
to
his post didn't make that distinction.
Are you supposed to go out and protest that the imam should be forced to give, a gay wedding ceremony in the mosque? No. Well, yeah, but the woke sisters say that answer. If you say, here's another one, because we had this chick on the air before. Remember the Muslim Students Associations? Now, if a member of the Muslim Students Association comes up to you as a Muslim and says, you know what, would you want your son to be gay? And if you responded, no, you are not welcome in the Muslim Students Association. You're a bigot, you're a hater, you're not woke, and you're holding Muslims back.
And that's a ridiculous standard because, like, given the choice, if I could just pick, I wouldn't necessarily want my child to be gay because A, that's going to make their life harder, and B, it's going to make it less likely that they have a biological child.
Well, not
there
only
are
that,
other reasons to not want that.
Even for me, it's not even if you have to keep it in the realms of like violations of the faith. I wouldn't want my son to shoplift either. I wouldn't want my son...
that's what triggered people about what you said.
Yeah, I wouldn't want my son to shoplift. You said
all sins are equal, so transgenderism
I wouldn't want my son to cheat on his wife.
And they went, are you comparing trans people to alcoholics?
Ahem! Hold on, you guys need to tag me on this one. Assuming that I can even still see it now.
Well, no, that one's
still up. Sometimes when people...
As far as I know,
sometimes
that one's still up.
Sometimes when people eat the ban, their posts are still available. They just can't do anything about them.
Oh, so these are two totally different posts? Because I didn't even read the original thing you said. I just read the comments.
The original, no one read this as far as I know because it had like almost no interaction whatsoever. It was the next one where I was like, let me make sure that you guys understand this is Danny Hakika's viewpoint on this issue. Let me make sure you understand my viewpoint, because as you said, there were places where he didn't really spell it out the right way, and I wanted to make sure that it was spelled out the right way for my perspective. And that one is still up as far as I know. It may be down, but the one that didn't seem to get any interaction whatsoever, that's been pulled as hate speech. So yeah, you've got it. Send it to him. I think he'll get a kick out of the fact that I got booted off of Facebook for something that he wrote 2 weeks ago.
If he hasn't been booted.
Free Talk Live's coming up next.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. Physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
Did you know you can get news updates about what's happening with the Liberty Radio Network delivered in the way you prefer? You can sign up for our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. Plus, you can stay in the loop by joining our Facebook profile at facebook.lrn.fm or follow us at Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm. It's all free, so sign up now at updates.lrn.fm for news updates delivered to your email box, facebook.lrn.fm to follow our Facebook page, and twitter.lrn.fm to receive our tweets.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
You're 6 minutes away from a live episode of Free Talk Live, brought to you by freekeen.com. Listen live at freetalklive.com.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Friday, September 14th, 2018. Silver's trading at $14.20 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,203 per ounce. Zen is trading at $16, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,460. Antiwar.com reports Turkish officials announced Wednesday that they sent hundreds of additional special forces, along with tanks, armored vehicles, and other equipment, across the border into Syria's Idlib province. They are intended to reinforce Turkish military posted in northern Syria. Turkish officials say that the intention is to deter the Syrian military from launching an offensive against the Idlib province, which is under control of various rebel factions, the largest of which is Al-Qaeda's Nusra Front. Turkey is aligned with some of these fighters in supporting regime change in Syria. In addition to boosting their direct military presence in Idlib, Turkey has also sent a large amount of additional weapons and ammunition for rebels to use. Rebel sources say they have been told Turkey will provide military support for a long, protracted battle. Idlib and neighboring areas are the last major rebel enclaves inside Syria. For Syria to recover the territory would effectively end the war, though doing so is likely to take a major offensive. Syrian and Russian planes have been conducting airstrikes along the outskirts, trying to soften up defenses before a ground invasion. There is no timetable for such an invasion. Zencash has changed their name to Horizon to better represent their transition from a cryptocurrency to a pioneering platform that protects consumer data. They're working towards the day when anyone will be able to build privacy-based applications on the Horizon platform. The unique spelling of Horizon is a nod to their heritage and recognizes that they remain committed to the vision that their project was built upon. Their coin and ticker symbol remain ZEN. Learn more at horizon.global and join the Horizon community. HORIZEN.global. UPI reports lawmakers in the U.S. House and Senate say they agreed Thursday on a bipartisan fiscal package that seeks to avert President Donald Trump's promise to shut down the government in an effort to get funding for his proposed border wall. The spending bills would fund some two-thirds of the government, including the Pentagon and the Health and Human Services Department. The package also includes a stopgap spending measure to ensure the government stays open through December 7th. Details of the package have not been revealed. Representative Rodney Frelinghuysen, chairman of the House Committee on Appropriations, said the the bipartisan package, should Trump sign it, would avoid a battle over a potential shutdown until after the midterm elections. Trump has threatened to force a government shutdown on October 1st if a spending bill does not include the billions of dollars he would need to build his border wall. Politico reported that lawmakers hope the fiscal package